Reading Marvel Rivals lore so you don't have to. The Marvel Rivals Gallery. Doom's Rise. Let there be rivals. As I always expected, no one cares about true freedom. No one save for Doom. For millennia, humanity has caged atoms in quantum fluctuations, bound celestial bodies in gravity's waves, and locked human genes at the pinnacle of evolution. Then, we claimed freedom. The freedom to explore, to save, and to become gods. Yet we loathe to admit that we remain shackled by the eternity of time. So, Doom forged the cage for time itself. In my hands, reality became nothing more than a set of building blocks, history a thread to be woven at will. But time, that mischievous child, outfoxed me in its play. Reluctantly, Doom must admit defeat. Time remains caged, yet it has found a way to reshape its prison. If it takes an entire world, or countless worlds, to shackle something, then does it not, in essence, hold its own infinite freedom? Perhaps Richards was right. This world does not belong to Doom after all. But for as long as I am able, I will make sure that it belongs to no one. Today I write words that have never been written before. Victor Von Doom is a fool. No, I do not speak of myself. This Doom remains a genius, as he has ever been. For how else could he have lived to see, and to conquer, this future world? I speak of another Doom, one from a distant past in a distant reality, who became so brazen in his quest for power that he felt he could break the bonds of time itself. Perhaps he was unaware that I, too, was on the verge of unlocking the mysteries of the multiverse. But alas, his pathetic efforts have undone my own. And now, all realities are left to pay the price for his hubris. Our dueling experiments have ignited a chronal catastrophe, a wave of destructive energy cascading across the time stream, impacting every reality in unique ways. Some collapse, some combine, others simply disappear. I dub those remaining to be chronoverses, as is my right. A far wiser and more experienced Doom, such as myself, could have become Time's master. Instead, thanks to this lesser Doom's meddling, I am left to clean up the mess left behind like some cosmic custodian. The indignity! Such tasks are beneath Doom. Yet perhaps there is still hope that I can correct this grave miscalculation without staining my gauntlets. There are always so-called heroes in every dimension, and with the right motivation, they are easily manipulated into action. One Doom may have been a fool, but this one shall never be. Not when there are so many others eager to play the part. Your biggest fan. Hey there, hero! Weird question, but have you been hearing voices in your head lately? More specifically, a voice that sounds like it belongs to the coolest girl in the whole entire galaxy? If you've been wondering who in eternity's name that is urging you on to victory as you face off against some of your most powerful friends and foes, look no further. It's just me, Galacta. I may sound all cute and sweet, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not like most other teens. That's because I'm the daughter of the planet-devouring cosmic force known as Galactus. Having a dad who eats worlds for breakfast can be a bit of a drag, especially because my pops passed on his insatiable hunger down to me. The old man gets pretty hangry if he doesn't chow down on the reg, but I've been able to keep my appetite in check by noshing on powerful cosmic constructs instead of inhabited worlds. Gotta admit though, the older I get, the harder it is to curb my constant cravings. Oh, but there's good news. I've finally found the perfect substitute for a planet-based diet. A powerful and pretty crystal called chronovium. There's also bad news. These bite-sized chunks of pure chronal energy are generated by the time stream entanglement, a cosmic crisis that could destroy all realities. Bummer, right? What's a growing girl like me supposed to do when the only thing I want to eat is a byproduct of the total collapse of space-time? I mean, the universe may be an all-you-can-eat chronovium buffet right now, but if the end of all things arrives, there'll be nothing left to fill my tummy. Not even planets. Ugh. Dad says I should just consume everything and be done with it, but I'm trying to be a better devourer of worlds. So I decided to follow my head instead of my stomach. I preserved a small handful of timelines to help prevent the end of all things. At least for a while. That way I can still get those tasty nuggets of Carnovium without having to worry about reality itself coming to a hard stop. Using the power cosmic to stabilize multiple dimensions takes a lot out of a girl though, so I really can't do much more than just watch as events unfold. Fortunately, there's been plenty of entertainment to keep my mind off things. You and your pals have been super busy trying to restore your realities, and you've come up with all sorts of wild ideas so far. But none of you can seem to agree on what the best solution is, and that's led to some pretty explosive battles. And I've had a front row seat to every one of them. I may occasionally chime in to encourage or even assist you, but I'm perfectly happy on the sidelines, for now, cheering on the chaos as I munch on chunks of Carnovium like popcorn. Dinner and a show. What more could a girl ask for? Family Affairs. Greetings, mortal. I am Ratatosker. Heed my tale. For countless centuries, I have lived peacefully among the branches of the World Tree, Yggdrasil, delivering messages between the 10 realms connected by its mighty branches. I may be naught but a squirrel, but my Asgardian friends bestowed this sacred duty upon me, and I have performed it with great pride. My place was not to intervene in the affairs of gods and men, but simply to deliver news of great import. And today, the news I bring to you is quite dire indeed. For centuries, Asgard was ruled by the All-Father Odin, but no longer. Odin has entered a deep restorative slumber, and the throne has been seized by his treacherous son, Loki. Where was Odin's rightful heir, Thor, the god of thunder, you ask? Patience, mortal. I shall get to that in due time. Always beholden to his ego, Loki began to reshape Asgard in his vile image. But Asgard reshaped itself as well, thanks to a strange cosmic phenomenon that disrupted the very fabric of space and time. This sudden surge of chronal energy caused my beloved Yggdrasil to grow wildly out of control, merging with Asgard and resulting in the birth of a place both ancient and new, Yggsgard. Ever one to seize an opportunity, Loki now seeks to tap into the roots of Yggdrasil in order to steal the raw temporal power that has been infused into its sap. What he hopes to do with such power, I do not know. As I said, I am merely a squirrel. But when it comes to the god of mischief, the answer is rarely a good one. And the false king of Yggsgard is not alone in his machinations. When it seemed as though none would dare to support Loki's coup, Hela, the queen of the dead, came forth from the underworld and offered her aid. All she wanted in return, she claimed, was to extend her kingdom of souls into the land of the living. Though, if I have learned anything about Hela over the eons, it is likely that her true motives run far deeper, and that Loki is only a pawn in a much grander scheme. Once Hela was at his side, however, Loki finally had the power he needed to take complete control over Yggsgard and the noble race who called it home. Together, the two tyrants banished the mighty Thor into a distant dimension, and the Odin son has not returned home since. Thus, I have come to you to share this tragic story. For while it may not be in my nature to take up arms against those I serve, you are bound by no such loyalty. I beseech thee, in the name of Yggdrasil, to break our realm free from Loki's grip before he can bring the World Tree, and perhaps all of reality, crashing down upon us. Act with haste, dear mortal. The fate of all 10 realms lies in your hands. Web Warriors. Hey kids, Spidey here! Okay, this is gonna sound weird. And that's coming from a guy who swings around New York City on a web and fights villains and vampires all night long. So, I finally took Spider-Zero up on her offer and hopped through her portal, mostly because she just wouldn't take no for an answer. And where did I end up? In Tokyo. Which sounds kinda cool at first, right? But it wasn't the Tokyo of my world. Nope, that'd be too easy. Instead, it's Tokyo of the year 2099. As if web-swinging 75 years into the future wasn't already strange enough, there seemed to be some sort of Spider-Man cosplay convention going on. Seriously, check this out. There's a girl named Penny and her high-tech spider bot, a Spidey with a spiked mohawk and a guitar who is like a billion times cooler than I could ever be, a low-effort Spidey who kinda looks like he forgot his costume at home. Oh, and of course, the aforementioned Spider-Zero who organized this little shindig. Why'd she bring us here? Well, she says that the multiverse is in grave danger, isn't it always? And that the only way we can hold things together is by mending a massive rift in space and time that is shredding the web of life and destiny. You know, the cosmic network of threads that connects all dimensions. So she took a field trip across a few realities and gathered herself a crew of experts when it comes to spinning strong webs. You can call us the Web Warriors. Or maybe the spider fighters? The arachnites? I don't know, it's still a work in progress. Anyway, we're all on board with Zero's plan. I mean, usually I try to stick to my own turf, but if we can pull this off, we'll end up saving a lot of friendly neighborhoods. And that works for me. The whole thing sounds like an easy win. But, and this is a but bigger than the rhinos, there's someone working against us. Kinda. See, Zero's former mentor, a spider-legged creeper called the Master Weaver, is supposed to be the guy that the universe chose to protect the web of life and destiny. Apparently, he's gone rogue and has decided he's going to try to use the temporal energy from the rift to strengthen the web of life and destiny, even if it means putting Tokyo and all of its citizens in unfathomable levels of danger. And that's just not how we Spideys roll. Or swing. You know what I mean. The Master Weaver banished Zero from his fancy little spider islands for having a different and slightly more sane opinion. So now it's up to our scrappy little cluster of spiders to patch up a giant hole in the sky before the web of life and destiny unravels, and all of reality follows. Piece of cake, right? See, I told you it was going to sound weird. Blind devotion. Dajalia, the plane where noble spirits dwell. Not long ago, this sacred place welcomed a guest whose mind and body were still as one. Through ancient ritual, King T'Challa of Wakanda transcended his corporeal form and ventured to this mystical realm. After an incident involving the Winter Soldier, Princess Shuri had confided in him her long-held belief that Bast, the Wakandan panther goddess, had somehow been corrupted. T'Challa had his own concerns, so he ventured to Dajalia in search of answers. Shuri warned her brother of the potential dangers of communing with Bast, but T'Challa had to find out the truth for himself. When he arrived, T'Challa was shocked to find no other souls roaming the Great Veld. The ancestral plane was as silent as death itself. T'Challa wandered for some time, eventually sitting near the edge of a shimmering lake. He opened a small pouch on his belt and removed a strip of fabric, tying it over his eyes. He had often blindfolded himself when meditating in the physical plane to help block out any distractions. Taking a deep breath, T'Challa cleared his mind and called out to Bast. He did not have to wait long for an answer. My avatar, you are far from your empire. As are you, my goddess. Your people have been crying out for you, but get no response. I have heard their prayers, and you will help me answer them. I am ever at your service. Do not forget that. There are those eager to taint you against me. They will try to persuade you to betray me. Heed them not. They are fools and heretics. I have always been loyal to you. Then prove yourself. Swear that you serve only me and will strike down all those who oppose my cause. Do so, and I shall grant you unlimited power. In his mind's eye, T'Challa saw a vision of the heart-shaped herb used to grant the Black Panther his enhanced abilities. Instead of its usual gentle purple glow, it now burned a fiery crimson. T'Challa's deepest fears were now confirmed. Pledge yourself to me, boy! T'Challa ripped off his blindfold, breaking his connection with the goddess. There, in the rippling water in front of him, he swore he saw an image of his goddess warped and twisted, stained red and black with a repulsive aura beyond anything he had ever felt. T'Challa dove into the water and tried to grab a hold of the divine being, but it slipped through his grasp. Instead, he awoke on the floor of his bedchamber in front of a vibranium statue of Bast. Its eyes shone brightly for a split second, then faded to black. If you can hear me, goddess, T'Challa vowed, placing a gentle hand on the statue's head, I will not rest until your holy spirit is purged of this darkness. You have my word. Hydra's hymn. Rank and number. Come on, Jim, it's just me, Pete. You know how tight security is here, Pete. Gotta follow protocols. Fine. Hydra Science Agent 418322. Happy? I'd be a hell of a lot happier if we weren't stuck inside of a mountain in the middle of the Antarctic. This cold is killing me. Why couldn't we get stationed on one of Hydra's tropical islands like Bob? Because Tartarus Base houses the most important operations in our entire organization, and they wanted the very best of us manning the fort. The experiments we're doing here are going to change the world, Jim. I think we can handle the winter weather. The winter weather? Sure. The Winter Soldier, though. Yeah, I heard that jerk tried to infiltrate our base a couple days back. Not gonna lie, I always thought he was just a myth. I mean, he fought against the Red Skull in World War II, right? How the hell could he still be alive and fighting? More importantly, how could he still look younger than me? I've got a feeling we're about to find out. Rumor has it they moved him down to the Super Soldier Lab last night after they finished his reconditioning. Looks like we're gonna get to work our magic. Oh, there's gonna be magic, all right, but not from us. Before we could get him into a stasis tube, another division claimed him. Another... Which one? Wait, please don't say... Occultops. The weirdos in the robes? What on earth do they want with a superpowered assassin? You and I both know that what they want doesn't usually involve Earth, or any other planet in this solar system. They're trying to open that damn portal in the sublevels again, aren't they? Where did they say it went? Mayfield? Mavith. A dead planet on the other side of the universe. They say activating that gateway is the key to unlocking our history and ushering in a new era where Hydra reigns supreme. Don't tell me you've bought into their mumbo-jumbo. You're supposed to be a man of science, Jim. I am, Pete. But I've heard those Hydra priests chanting, and there's something about their song that makes you wonder if they're not so crazy. If they can use the Winter Soldier as some kind of conduit to access that other world, they can have him. Huh, you're as brainwashed as Bucky is. Oh hell, whatever they're doing to him down there, I hope it works. Hydra could use a win. Don't worry, we'll get one. And when we do, it's gonna be thanks to our work in the science division, not because a Occultops sang some ancient alien hymn to a soldier who should have retired ages ago. Huh. Guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. Okay, fine. You know what? It's time for my break anyway. I hear the commissary just got a new shipment of hot cocoa. You in? Now that we can agree on. Of Gods and Guardians. I have lost my faith in the gods. Those are words that I never thought I would say out loud. Words best kept private for now. Despite the Orisha abandoning our intergalactic empire, our people still cling to the desperate hope that our sacred pantheon will return and bless Wakanda once more. Our people are fools. And though I hate to say it, their king, my dearest brother, T'Challa, may be the biggest fool of all. He sits all day long in the Hall of Djalia calling out in prayer to Bast, yet he gets no response. For the first time I can recall, his beloved Panther goddess refuses to speak. To him, at least. What T'Challa does not yet know is that I have heard the whispers of Bast in my dreams. But her words did not bring me hope or peace as they have in the past. Instead, they inspired fear. They dripped with the darkness unlike anything I'd ever felt before. I awoke with the deep concern that our goddess has been tainted by something sinister, and that perhaps she might use T'Challa's blind devotion to her as a means to unleash that darkness upon Wakanda, undoing all that we've built here. Uttering such words would be considered blasphemy, even for a princess of Wakanda. I have to tread carefully as I attempt to uncover the true meaning behind my visions and learn if my suspicions hold any merit. Yet, this is not a path I am able to explore on my own. Not only would it arouse T'Challa's suspicion, it would also divert my attention from other matters that endanger our empire. For now, I must continue in my efforts to unravel the mysteries of the time stream entanglement and its crystalline byproduct, chronovium. More specifically, our chronovibranium. Thus, I called upon some of Wakanda's most steadfast allies, the Guardians of the Galaxy, to investigate the source of a dark energy that flared up at the edge of the known universe shortly after Bast spoke to me in my sleep. The journey brought them to Clintar, the homeworld of a symbiotic alien race. Star-Lord contacted me upon his crew's arrival, but as their ship began to descend towards the planet's surface, something went wrong and our connection was lost. If the Guardians have found themselves up against the same dark force that corrupted Bast, they will need all the help they can get, and with the Orisha not answering any prayers, the time draws near where I will have to take matters into my own hands, and the hands of those I know I can trust. After all, even though I have lost faith in the gods, there are some things I will always believe in, including my friends. Hey, thanks for watching! If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if there's any other Marvel Rivals stories that you'd like to hear. I hope that you have a great day, or night, or whatever time it is for you, and we'll see you in the next one!